Alrighty then. Back on a making of a Horde map, part 5. I got my voice back, so last couple ones that we're doing, just had music. So we're back to voices again. I know. So where the hell was I? So I'm still trying to figure out the bridge one. I don't know why. I got this working before in another map. Bridge blows up. Guy's supposed to repair the bridge, but he's not. And for the life of me, I don't know why it's not repairing the bridge. I'm either using the wrong ability or something's going on. Caster, player to repair bridge. Tried that. Tried using S group, which makes more sense to me. Engineering group. Oh, what's this? Wait a second. Spawn engineering into the half track. Yeah, that's right. Half track goes. Half track's locked. Goes here. Maybe you have to do it like this. Which doesn't make any sense. But we'll try that. Maybe that'll work. Thank you. So we have wave 1, which is spawning a whole bunch of troops from the north and south, back and forth. Half track's going to be driving around, dropping off troops. It's on a timer. Once the timer ends, the wave ends. Wave 2. We got mortar teams coming up from the north and the south. We have flak trucks that are going to start rolling around, trying to destroy basically the objective of wave 2 is destroy the humans' bunkers and defenses that they have here. Still easy. Wave 3, things get a little funky. We got a whole bunch of Goliaths that change speed 50% every 30 seconds or so, all randomly spawning across the map, coming into the middle. So yeah, at the same time I got guys spawning out of these little tunnels I created, which are, see if I can find any of these things. Block my blockers. These things. They spawn out of these little tunnel things that are located around the map. And that's a timer. Wave 2 is you just kill the flak trucks, it ends. Wave 3 is on a timer. Wave 4 is, I think, oh, it's Stukas. Wave 4 is basically Stukas with some tigers for guarding. Will come out throughout the map at a distance. They're tagged on the map, in the mini map, so the players see where they're at, and they just start bombarding all these black circles. So all within these ranges, all the way around the base. And they'll continually fire every 10-20 seconds or something until they are destroyed. And the humans have to go and find them. Well, they're on the mini maps, they know where they are. They're going to go get them, kill them. Once they kill the 4 Stukas, I think there's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 Stukas, then that wave ends, and they're guarded by tigers. The tigers don't do anything, they're just going to sit and guard the Stukas. That'd be too mean to send them into the base right away. Anywho, that's wave 5, 4, 5. Wave 5 is all air, so it's going to be randomly air strafing, paradrops, incendiary bombers, all around the perimeter of the base. So basically destroying anything that the players may have. And the reason for that is if you don't do that, what happens is the human players get smart and start blocking all the areas off with tank traps and all this other stuff. So it makes it really easy to defend a horde when you have all the defenses up by that point. So that's the point of wave 5, is destroy all that stuff. I mean, the humans could defend the wave if they have enough AA, but I don't think they will. And once that's on a timer, once all that happens, wave 6 goes into effect, and wave 6 is going to be basically, I haven't created it yet, it's going to be a combination of absolutely everything that just comes at the computer, comes at the middle, the players. That's a timer. So if they survive that timer of everything hitting them from every angle, they win. If this fort gets destroyed, it's game over. I'll probably have some atmosphere changes throughout the match as well. But yeah, basically the whole idea here is to hold the fort. Make sure the fort doesn't get destroyed. If it does, it's game over. So what do I have left to do? I have to do the final wave 6. I got a lot of mapping to do in regards to basic map stuff. I was just fooling around with some stuff over here. Just different little city things. I don't know if I'm going to keep them or destroy them or move them. Just kind of messing around with that. So I need to build the outside perimeter around. And of course, out of bounds area. I don't know what I'm going to do with this river. I'm not going to keep it. I'll just screwing around with it. Probably change it here and then have it go into like a shallow crossable river, kind of going around, stuff like that. Probably put like an air base with a railroad up here, this whole area or something, cover that area. And basically it's going to look something like this. So computer area, oh, and there's a heavy fuel buried inside the castle, so you always have a fuel, and it also is for AI that decides they want to try to cap that. They have to go into the base. But you got all the fuels and ammos. There's strategy cutoff points along this outer road. So if those get captured, it cuts off the outside. And of course, the whole interactive node zone, which is the border that you see. The reason that's important, you have to do that, is if you don't do it, what happens is the players start figuring out where most of the stuff starts to spawn, and they'll start setting up defenses like right where they spawn and basically kill them at spawn. So to prevent that little hack from happening, you make the interactive zone really big. You spawn your units inside so they can go around anything that the humans block. They can basically travel the whole thing, get in whenever they want. As far as attack moves and stuff, I just have the waypoints created in the base. That's these yellow lines going through, circles. One there, one the outer, and then the full outside one. So basically, as I spawn these things randomly throughout the map, I just have them go to the waypoint. So they go to the closest connecting waypoint, and they'll start traveling around it. And just do an infinite loop and keep traveling. A lot easier doing that than a whole bunch of different waypoints and stuff. You can have some bonus missions at the same time throughout. The first bonus mission, which is already done, is this one, which is basically I have German fuel trucks that are going to be driving around the outside loop somewhere. And if you destroy them, then you get a whole bunch of supplies in the base. So bonus supplies and then a bunch of drops that happen in the base. Little things like that. I'll think of some other bonus ones as well. I'm also thinking of doing the airport. I'm thinking of doing the Annie, so the railroad cannons come into play and fire on the base. You have to destroy it. The airport one I can do as continuous bombing or paradrop strafing runs, but if you kill the airport tower, it stops it. Bonus mission kind of thing. So there's a couple of other things I still need to do in regards to that. Of course, after all that fun stuff, I need to balance it. But I usually don't play with the balance until I have more of the map done, because it's really gonna affect the gameplay with how the map is gonna be done. I don't really spend too much time on details with these kind of maps, these Horde maps, because literally 95% of the action is in this red circle. It's going to be happening. So it's not really imperative that I spend a bunch of details way over here and stuff. I don't think. I don't know. Some of my earlier Horde maps, what I did is I just raised the fog off the ground and covered it all. So there was nothing but fog and then a hill with the base. But these seem to be popular. I'm also trying to make this one, which is so far as I've been successful at, trying to make it so it is tuning pack friendly, because I notice a lot of people use tuning packs, various different tuning packs when they play the Horde maps, and they aren't very friendly with Horde maps if I start changing the player attributes. What do I mean by that? Some of my earlier Horde maps, I increase the population, I increase the fuel, the ammo, all the resources, do a bunch of tweaks to the players, individual players. But the problem with doing that, a couple of problems. One is when they do the Horde map, they have to have all of Team 1 filled. If you don't have it all filled, it just crashes on load. So that's the problem with doing that. And the other problem is, of course, tuning packs don't like it. Most of the time there's a conflict with the tuning pack and it will provide a desync error or something. Just try and do something and override a feature that I put in there. So if you want to make your maps as compatible as possible, then try not to change any of the player settings. So as long as you have no playbill actions that are on the individual players, you should be good in that respect. If you don't care about that stuff, then just do whatever you want, but it's up to you. So that's that. You know what, now that I got this whole Annie thing in my head, because I've done the battleships, the fire, but I haven't done an Annie in a while. I got a lot of room over here to play with, so I could definitely do railroad with like 2 Annies coming up this way. Annie's that big rail gun thing. I could have them come up here, basically do like a big U-shaped railroad. Kind of goes out. I don't know where it would go here. Kind of tricky to do there. Maybe one here, one over here. And then have the Annie just kind of show up. Now that's a thought. Then how would I prevent people from just putting defenses there? Well, that's a good question you ask. I think the answer is simply just do an interactive layer around this whole thing. Since I don't have any headquarter bases on the outside, so it should be fine. What I mean by that, I'll explain myself a little bit better visually. So we have our, I just put these rocks here so I know what the hell they are, by the way, I'm not staying there. So you have your base, right? So you put something over here, but you don't want the players to screw with it, because it wrecks the balance or whatever. So what I would do is basically do another interactive layer. Call this 110. Doesn't matter what the number is. And just do a big square or circle. Basically, I'm thinking of drawing another interactive layer all around this. That's a good idea. Let's do that. Now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more. So, basically, Just wanted to get the idea down. I should probably do this after I figure out the roads, but we're going to do it now just for fun, just to see if it works. I think Bacon said it once in his tutorial, one of his tutorials, never get too attached to any part of your map, because you could spend days on a piece and then realize that it doesn't work, and you just simply delete it. Oops. And I have done that on more than one occasion. So, interactive zone. Alright. There you go. So that zone is now locked, which means I can put whatever I want in there and not have to worry about players doing anything stupid. You can't attack it, they can't do anything with it. And there's some capture points there, so it kind of messes up that, but you know what? If I do it, I do the annies like on wave 3 or something. Yeah, on wave 3, and then open this up. So this will be open up after wave 3. So it's pretty much flat ground. So this is a tricky part though, is spawning the annie in the right direction. It's always a pain in the ass. It just is. Since I don't know which wave I'm putting this thing in yet, I am going to just put it in the parent folder. Is it going to be objective? Ooh, now it got me thinking. Maybe this will be objective. Which objective would it be? I don't know. I can always change it later. Any south. Got me thinking. So, Annie's fun because it's a big cannon and it does extremely high damage. Basically take out the base in a couple of shots if anybody's played my other maps with it. This one will be called Annie South. I don't know where it is in here. Do a search. There she is. Anzo Annie. Alright. Anzo Annie, what are you going to do for me today? Of course, Anzo Annie doesn't move. So wherever you place it is where she appears. So you want to already have it facing the right way. Get rid of some of these other... Alright. What is that there? Bonus supplies. Alright, so it's facing the right way, because Annie needs to be facing the right way. It does not rotate. Make sure we're not in the interactive zone, which we kind of are. So it would be like over here somewhere. Something like that. And we're going to make sure this thing works before we do everything that builds around it, the tracks and everything else. So there's maybe Annie. You want to do another playbill for shooting Annie. You just want to separate your action from your spawning. Annie south attack. It's a usability. This is the first playbill I ever learned from the OG David M. This is what got me into playbills. I had the Annie in my first comp stomp map, which was just a map with enemy bases already done. And then one day David said, "Hey, you know you can make that tank gun shoot?" And I said, "No way." And he showed me how to do it. And ever since then, I became addicted to playbills. So I can thank him for the thousands of hours. Alright. German. Forgot which one it was. Barrage. Let's try this one. And target. Target. I can target players. That's always fun. Let's do that. So it's just randomly going to fire at players. And if there's no players, it's going to fire at their bases. I think we're going to do a random. Backtrack here. There you go. Random action. Random attack. Alrighty. I don't know why drag and drop doesn't work sometimes. Weird to me. Alright. So ability attack P1. Ability attack P2. Oh, I don't remember if it's. It is. One, 3, 5, 7. Team 1 is 1, 3, 5, 7. Team 2 is 2, 4, 6, 8. Remember that. So it's going to randomly attack each player on Team 1. Does that sound like fun? There we go. We're going to throw a wait command in there. I'll just do it for 10 seconds right now because we're testing. I'm obviously going to make that longer. I always put a star in front of stuff that I need to come back to and change. I think I forgot to do that in some other stuff, but that way when I go through this stuff, I'd be like, oh, I put a star there for a reason. Alright, because remember, that's just a display name. It doesn't actually do anything in game. It's just for you. Alright. And we're going to loop. So, I've been asked before that you can change the stage of the loop where you want it to go in the playbill. But I've had issues with that, and I don't know if it's just me being dumb, doing something wrong, but I just found it unpredictable, so I just leave it at default. So, an example. Loop says, what stage in the playbill to loop to? By default goes to 1. So, this is the playbill. This would be stage 1, right? And so it defaults here and loops, defaults here, goes back and forth. What I used to do is I'd have my spawn as my first action, and then my random attack here would be the second action. So I'd tell the loop I want it to start on 2. I don't want it to spawn every time, I just want it to random attack. But it didn't do it. So I don't know if it's something I did wrong, or who knows. Maybe I had too many loops going. So that's one of the reasons I separate the attacks from the spawns, just to prevent any weird gremlins, because there are lots of gremlins that happen. Alright, so it should attack, random attack, weighted action, make sure it's player 2 that's firing. Player 2 is firing, Andy. Everything looks good. Oops. So let's load this bad boy up and test it to make sure it works. Always test stuff before you start cloning it and stuff. Oh, I had to add the launch command. Spawn, wait a couple seconds, and then launch the attack playbill. It's good practice to always have weights, because otherwise I find if you don't put weights and stuff and you have everything launched at the same time, you get the big old desync error. Crashes the map. So it's really important that you resource manage your maps in that way. Alright, let's test it and see if it works. It should show up right there and just start firing every 10 seconds. Test it, shall we? The never-ending screen of doom. What the hell is this map called again? I forgot now. Horde Revenge or something. This one right here. That's my English bulldog. Don't know what he's doing. Alright, let's see. Oh. I didn't like something. Oh, so I just talked about this. So the map's not going to load. You know why it's not going to load? Because if you remember in the Annie attack, random attack, I said randomly attack player 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I started the game with only one person, so that means that the game's going to crash because it can't find the other 3 people. Alright, let's go back and fix that.